Hi, are you afraid to create your own virtual stage because you have this idea that in-person events are more powerful than virtual events? Well, give me the next 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and I will walk you through the three major reasons why virtual is actually more powerful than in-person events. So, sorry, I just noticed. My name is Andrea, and established coaches, speakers, authors, and summit hosts hire me to create irresistible virtual events that connect them deeper with their audiences, because most are struggling with conversion in their events and they're hit a ceiling, or they don't know how to connect with their audience and they are tired of so many calls one-on-one to get people into the high ticket offers. So in every video that I do, I will give you actual helpful action steps that will help you become irresistible online. So just give me a few minutes and I will walk you through the three major reasons why virtual is actually more powerful than offline events. And this is not just coming from my mouth and my experience. Like, look, I love in-person events. I love traveling to go to events. But let's face it, they cost a lot of money for attendees and a lot of money as well for the hosts. When it comes to virtual, this is the reason number one. What happens is that it lowers the costs of everybody, hosts, attendees, and speakers all at the same time. And it opens you up to a global audience. Now, I'm in El Salvador, and I would have never dreamed of attending so many networking events, for example, around the United States from here. Like, I don't have to travel and meet all these amazing entrepreneurs and authors, best-selling authors, speakers, hosts, all these people that I've met. And I actually just got a notification that I have a networking event in 10 minutes. And I wouldn't be able to go to these events and meet all these people because they normally used to do them offline. Now, what happens is that since it's virtual, I'm able to attend and people get to know me, like me, and trust me from the comfort of my own home. The same happens with your audience. Like, if you are hosting an event on site, offline, a lot of people are not going to be able to travel for so many reasons, not just because of quote unquote mandates. And if you ask me what I think about them, I'll tell you on private chat. But it's not only that. Some people cannot attend because they don't get approved for visas, or they don't have the income to go. Like, for me to go to an in-person event in the US, it's at least $5,000 that I have to spend between airfare, hotel, transportation, food, etc. Right? The event ticket, all that. If I join virtual, all those expenses are cut off. They're no longer an obstacle for me to attend. So that actually is way more powerful, because your audience can be in the comfort of their homes and join you in your experience. So what happens with that is that they have a bigger budget to spend on your offer, to actually consider buying your offer, because they didn't have to spend all that money on the traveling, on the food, on the hotel, etc., etc. So that's one of the most important things that virtual has given us. It has opened the doors to globalization. And globalization is not always bad. It's actually really good, and we can take advantage of connecting, and that takes me to my second point, actually. Connection is way more powerful on virtual. Why? Because look at it as a host perspective, as a speaker perspective. You're on stage on an in-person event, and you're in this arena, and you're like, let's say Tony Robbins. Actually, Tony Robbins said this, that virtual events give him something that in person will never do. And that is connection with every single person that attends. Because when he's speaking on stage right here and the audience is all the way over there, they look like bubbleheads. We look like bubbleheads, especially those that cannot afford to be at the front of the stage, because that costs a lot of money, right? 20 grand. I've heard crazy numbers to be on front of stage next to Tony Robbins. And what happens is that it creates a disconnection with the audience as a host. When you're on virtual, you see everybody on camera and you see them in their natural environment. So that actually is a better way to connect as a host, as a speaker with your audience. You get to see them right there. With in person, you get to see them all the way over there or down there, right? And they're not at the same level as you. Well, virtual kills all that. It demolishes all that. And it gives you a tighter connection with your audience. I think that that is extremely powerful, because as a coach and as a speaker, I want to connect with my audience. I want to see their reactions. Like speakers, we look at your body language and we look at your reactions while we're talking to see if we're boring you, to see if we're making you laugh, to see if you're engaged with the topic at hand. And on virtual, you could absolutely do that way better when you're looking at the gallery on Zoom and you're seeing people snoozing off, you're seeing people on their phone. You can change the tone of voice. You can raise your voice. You can put some music on. You can change the atmosphere. Because energy travels through any distance. And that's super powerful. And that's what virtual gives us. A connection that is uncanny, that cannot be done in person. And the third bullet point, so I can wrap this up, I don't want to hold you too much here. Thank you for watching me. Is that it creates community. It creates community like no other. Because when you're in-person events, and I've gone to big events like GoPro, it's impossible to connect with every single body. Versus online and virtual, it is way more possible to connect with the majority of people and build a community with them, and because they're going through the same thing as you. It is easier to create groups and to meet other people through the breakout rooms, through the speed networking or the speed breakout rooms or things like that. And that helps us grow our social media followers. It helps us grow our connections on LinkedIn, and also builds a tighter community. A community that you see on the daily on social media, that you actually connect with and communicate with. And that's what virtual gives us. It gives us the opportunity to help us as hosts and speakers help the audience connect with each other, build a community that is, that is part of your thing. Build a community that you can actually follow up with later on. A community that will follow you on your next event. So this is why virtual is actually more powerful than in person. And I've been doing events since 2009. This is not something that is new to me. I actually have a degree on it. I studied at Universidad de Palermo. I have an event planning degree. I've been doing in-person events. I've done it all. I've done social. I've done corporate. I've done self-development. And honestly, with virtual, I would have never reached the amount of people or worldwide audience as I have in person. So that is very powerful. And what happens, what I said at the beginning, right, is that when people don't have to spend all this time going to the plane, right, catching the plane, you're not fighting against the times of the planes. People don't have to run off on the third day and miss half of the day because they had to go catch a plane. They actually stay longer with you. They stay through the whole event. And that is powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So if you've been on the fence of creating your own virtual event, if you have done a virtual event and it was a flop because, you didn't have the Irresistible virtual events formula, then I want to invite you to our new virtual event called Butts and Seats. It's a 3-day live workshop that I'm hosting with RJ Redden on June 8, 9, and 10. And we have a special speaker coming on, Danny Monson. He's going to be teaching you about automation as well. So we're 3 nerds that love automation, that love events, that want to help you create irresistible virtual event experiences. And it's absolutely free. We're going to spend 3 full days with you, and we're going to help you create your virtual event and automate everything that you need to automate so that you don't get frustrated with the mundane. Okay? So if that is of interest to you, join us now. The link is buttsandseatslive.com. That's buttsandseatslive.com. If you drop a peach below, I will send you more information. If you have any questions or would like help on your next event, make sure you slide on my DMs. I'm here to help you right now. I have some slots available for planning and producing events for fall. So it's time to plan them right now in summer if you want a successful event in fall. That's an extra tip. Make sure you take your time, because it's important that we take our time so that you have peace of mind and everything gets done and nothing is rushed. So I hope to see you in the workshop. It's 3 days, completely live, and I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye.